Good morning, everybody. My name is Carolyn Ridley. I'm Coach's widow. Nice to be here and nice for this celebration. It's a great honor given to you.
Yeah.
Does that work? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Angela Mack-Shepard-Ray. I'm the principal here at Martin Luther King Jr. Academic Magnet High School of Health Sciences and Engineering at historic Pearl High. And we want to welcome, absolutely. We want to welcome you here this morning. I think it's very fitting. Of course, the gym was named after Gupton and Ridley, and this marker helps to provide a context for people as they enter the building. So when they see the name, Gupton Ridley, now they will be able to actually read and see the history behind Coach Ridley, who did phenomenal things while he was here coaching at Pearl High. So I want to welcome you, and I will also ask that the best athletic director to come forward from Vanderbilt University and greet you as well. So welcome and thank you. And this is Dr. Candace Story-Lee. Thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Candace Story-Lee, and I'm a Vice Chancellor and the Athletic Director at Vanderbilt University. It's great to be among friends standing here outside a school with such an incredible tradition of academic and athletic excellence from the Pearl High days to MLK Magnet today. One of my priorities at Vanderbilt over the last 4 years has been to be a good neighbor in and to North Nashville. First and foremost, it's simply the right thing to do. It's an acknowledgement of the importance of Pearl High School in our city's history and the significance of Perry Wallace, Pearl valedictorian of the class of 1966, to Vanderbilt, to the SEC, and to college sports as a whole. We are proud to honor Perry in many ways on our campus, but we understand that we must also show up where he lived, where he studied, and where he played before he ever came to Vanderbilt. That's our motivation for working with neighborhood partners on projects such as renovating the Watkins Park basketball court across the street, helping fund the Nashville Children's Theater's production of Strong Inside on the life of Perry Wallace, and ensuring that Metro students could attend at low cost or for free. Honoring Pearl alumni when Vanderbilt played Loyola of Chicago, where Pearl alums Les Hunter and Vic Rouse were part of a historic NCAA championship team in 1963. Funding a historical marker commemorating Washington Junior High School, and funding this marker in honor of Coach Ridley. And I want to be really clear about that. I'm not mentioning those things because this is about Vanderbilt. We've been very clear from the beginning, this is not about Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt does have a platform and resources that should benefit those stories that need to be told. Thank you. I never had the opportunity to meet Coach Ridley, so I must leave the storytelling to the family members and the former coaches and players and friends who are here today. But I will say this. I am in awe of a man who accomplished such extraordinary things over a sustained length of time during periods of tremendous change in Nashville and throughout the South. Coach Ridley was not just a winner, he wasn't just a teacher, he wasn't just a mentor, but he's a transcendent figure in our city's history. My team and I are honored to be here today and grateful that we're able to work with the Metro Historical Commission, with Coach Ridley's family, and with Dr. Mack-Shepard-Ray and her team here at MLK to make today's event a reality. It's truly an honor, and I thank you. And now I'd like to turn it over to Linda Wynn.
Thank you. I'm Linda Wynn. I am chair of the Metro Historical Commission and a proud alum of Pearl High School, specifically the class of 1966. Dr. Lee mentioned Perry Wallace. I would also like to mention Walter Murray, who became a trustee at Vanderbilt University and went to Vanderbilt the same year that Perry did, and they were very close friends. It is now my honor to ask Councilmember Jacob Kubin to come forth. He is the member from District 19.
That's quite the entrance music. I'll try to get this not pointing at the speakers. My music industry is showing. Huh? Maybe we'll see. Well, good morning. I'm Councilmember Jacob Kupin, proud to serve over this district, and what a beautiful day to be together, recognizing Coach Ridley and the impact he's had on our community. I want to say thank you to the family, friends, players, coaches, and so many more that are here today. A huge thank you to the Metro Historical Commission. Proud to be joined by Councilman Tom Cash and Councilman Terry Vo. Would any other elected officials or Metro staff raise your hands, please, and be recognized? We appreciate all that y'all are here doing. We also stand here today under the cloud of what's to come. I know there's a lot of fear and anxiety and stress over what the future for our city, our state, and our country holds. And so it's really powerful and special to be here at a moment where we are doing what we need to do, which is coming together. We are stronger together. We are stronger with each other. And remember that we are all people, we are all humans, and we are all Nashvillians. So to me, that's really important. Recognizing someone like Coach Cornelius Ridley, who led the first integrated team here in 1965, and the next year, undefeated, I believe, became champions in the first desegregated championship, which again is a huge accomplishment. And in a growing city and in a changing city, it's so important not just to look forward, but to recognize from where we came and the folks and the experiences and contributions that made us who we are. So again, so great to be with you today. So excited to recognize Coach Ridley, and thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
It is now my honor and privilege to ask the daughter of Coach Ridley to come forward, Constance Ridley.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's such a beautiful morning and such a wonderful occasion, and I thank each one of you for being here, taking time out of your schedule to come and be here. First of all, let me just say that I'm thankful to the Metro Historical Commission, Ms. Jessica Reeves, who's not here today, but who was here for the planting of the monument on Tuesday, and Ms. Candace Lee, Vice Chancellor Lee, whose brainstorm this was. And so without her vision and without her proactive stance, we wouldn't be here for this occasion. So I'm very thankful to her as well. I had a time to think about what I might say, and Andrew said, we're going to give everybody 5 minutes, but since you're the coach's daughter, you can take a little longer. So thank you. But I tried to think, if Coach Cornelius Ridley were alive today to witness this august occasion, he would first thank you for your presence and the confidence that you entrusted in him and the role that each one of you played in his success. Alex Haley, author of the book Roots, once said, "I never saw a turtle sitting on a fence post that didn't have some help getting there." And he would acknowledge each of you in that regard because you helped him to get here, to get there, and to get this monument erected. Give yourselves a rousing applause. That one's for you. I thank each one of you for coming to honor my dad, Coach Cornelius Ridley, and the collective experience that we all shared at Pearl High School. Pause for a moment and think about your part in the Pearl High experience. Please show by a show of hands, were you involved in the 60s? Great. The 70s? The 80s? Oh, few from the 80s are here. Thank you. Were you a player, a cheerleader, coaching staff, referee, referee, coaching staff, politician. Coach Black is raising his hand. He just needs to keep it stand. Just keep it going. Were you a trainer? Did you work for the concessions? Were you filling the bags of popcorn in the right here at the concession stand? Were you putting that little row of mustard on the hot dogs? You know, were you twisting the hot dog ends of the paper, the wrapper? Were you the wash and fold committee for the uniforms? That would be me. Clarette, that's my cousin Clarette in the back. So Coach Ridley had everybody involved, and Pearl had everybody involved, and that's what made it such a great collective experience. Now, most of not all of you will agree that Coach Ridley was an awesome coach, mentor, and teacher. But allow me to submit to you today that he was an even greater father, if that can be imagined. He had the ability to see possibilities in a person and nurture those possibilities to the highest value. Whenever I had an idea of something that I wanted to do, he would first of all tell me how to do it, how to get it accomplished, and then he had these one-line sayings that he provided, giving the right amount of guidance. And those guiding principles have stuck with me today. Then he would tell me what he was going to do to help me, and he would always see me through to a victorious conclusion. And that's what he did as a father, and then when I thought about it, that's what he did as a coach.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, I always thought my father was giving me everything I wanted, but instead, what he was doing was showing me how to play the game of life and how to be a winner. So if I had to distill Coach Ridley down to his basic essence, this was it: seeing the possibilities in an individual, nurturing those possibilities, offering guiding principles, and coaching them to victory. When he was interviewed by the Tennessean about the closing of the neighborhood schools, he spoke about Pearl and Cone and what they meant and had meant to their respective communities. And he concluded by saying, "I hope before it's over, we will find a way to do this again, to provide what Pearl and Cone meant to their communities, their neighborhoods, and the youngsters serviced by those schools. Again, seeing the possibilities in an individual, nurturing the possibilities, offering guiding principles, and coaching them to victory." So for many years, I thought that could never happen. And as I was reading all of the clippings and the interviews, I said, Daddy, that could never happen, that could never happen, that could never happen. I said, that'd be fairly impossible to do that again. And then the light bulb came on in my head. You know, we may never assemble in buildings like this, like Pearl, like Cone, Cameron, Meg, Central, Haynes. But we can find ways to encourage, uplift, and help young people to see the possibilities if we assume what one of my mentors, Doc Shelton, once said. He said, I can't even get the voice, it was more than Coach Ridley's X's and O's. Coach Ridley knew how to coach a kid. So if we assume that to be true, the question for us today is, how do we collect that knowledge? You've heard of an ideology, I call it a Ridleyology. How do we collect that knowledge and package it for the next generation of leaders, parents, teachers, coaches, administrators, community leaders, morticians, lawyers, judges, so that they might influence future generations as Pearl High and Coach Ridley did for so many of us. The other day when I came up for the erecting of the monument, I noticed and I looked across the street, the community's still here. The center is still here.
Yeah.
Youngsters are still here. The community is still here.
Yeah.
But what we need is leadership, individual leadership and collective leadership. And I noticed that they also had a library. And then the light bulb came on to me, but I have books. And the reason I have books is that my dad said to me, one of his parting wishes, he said, I just hope somehow that the people of Nashville could get all of my clippings,
Wow.
my scrapbooks, my
Yeah.
memorabilia. I just wish somehow that it could belong to them. And I said,
Yeah.
that's hard. How can you do that? And that's why I started to write the books. That's why I started to get every scrap that my grandmother had saved, my aunt had saved, he had saved, I had saved as a child making PHS scrapbooks. And I've collected it. I did my doctoral dissertation on the desegregation school experience, and Pearl is one of the schools, and my alma mater, Maplewood, is the other. And I put all of that into a fixed format. Now the good thing is, Daddy, now everybody who wants the Pearl High experience can have it. They may not come here, but they have it and it can be shared abroad.
That's good.
I created a YouTube channel and I've made clips of some of the videos, the game footage or his speeches and so forth. And one of the videos, which I have to thank my good friend Kenny Martin, because he had the video and shared it. And I took a 30-second clip of the 1981 game. And it was a phenomenal clip because in that 30 seconds, every Tiger touched the ball.
Wow.
In 30 seconds, the whole team had touched the ball, including making a basket.
Wow.
I put that on YouTube, and I wasn't thinking anything. I just put it there because I thought it was great. That has nearly 3,500 views, and the greatest viewing audience, according to the analytics, is from the Philippines. So I called one of my video team members who's in the Philippines, and I said, listen, why that video? And he says, because we got 2 NBA players from the Philippines. And now every kid wants to learn how to play basketball. So past Nashville, in the Philippines, they're watching Pearl High. They're watching Pearl High Tigers do their thing. And that was so touching to me. And you can see on the analytics where they roll it back, because they're studying the game, and that is how you get good at anything. You study the game. So I put together, when I saw that they had a library and so forth, I said, I need to make a donation over there. And I went to the local printer here and I said, listen, that big book you got, Leadership, What I Know About Leadership I Learned from Basketball, I need you to put it pocket size, because everybody who wants to share something, the Ridleyology, talk about the game, and a principle, 25 principles.
Wow. That's good.
A leader re-images failures and transforms them into success. It's going to talk about some of the downfalls and disappointments that the Tigers had. Develop team members, develop their capacity by allowing them to take calculated risks. Good leaders build bridges, not walls.
Wow.
Good leaders help others to reach their potential. And one that I really like, past success is not a place of rest. You can't rest on your laurels. You got to be ever motivating and ever striving for the next possible goal.
Wow.
So if you want to share Ridleyology, this is the book for you. If you want to share the team photos of all the 1970s team, it's like your own yearbook in your back pocket. Not that I want to sell books to you today, but I want to give you a tool that you can use to start dialogues in your communities with the people that you see, with the youngsters that you come into contact with. I think that each one of us is a leader for tomorrow, because the area is too vast. Kids need each one of you
That's right.
to impart something to them.
That's right.
Wherever you find them. There's one last one that I think things may not always go right, as they didn't for the Tigers. But the thing that has guided me is when life is unfair and systems break down, stick close to principle. And these are the things that, if I could distill what my father was all about, it was about showing you how to win the game of life, imparting principles, and believing intensely in the individuals who are around you. Seeing possibilities is what I leave each one of you today as a charge. See the possibilities. Nurture those possibilities. Offer guiding principles and coach those you find to victory. Thank you for your presence and thank you for your attention. And I'm going to present one of these to Candace Lee because she's never met Coach Ridley, but when you read this, you'll get a glimpse.
Yeah. That's good.
Thank you, Dr. Ridley, for those very inspiring words. Those are words that we all can use today and hopefully do what they instructed. It is now, is David Smith or Riley Walton here? Riley Walton will speak from the 1981 championship class.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, I was going to start these notes here, but Candace kind of brought back some good memories, so I'm going to go from my heart and my memory there. I just want to go back to thinking about Coach Ridley. For me, I was a football player, didn't know anything about basketball player. Coach Polk could tell you that, when I first started in the 9th grade. But he took the time out to train me and teach me how to play the game, how to play the big man position. I remember asking my dad after football practice, seeing the guys practice before we had finished. I said, Dad, I don't think I'm gonna make the team. I'm not that good. You know what he told me? Listen to the coach.
That's right.
Listen to the coach. And that's what I did. Everything that man said, I took it to heart. If he told me to pivot this way, I did. He once said in practice, and I think the guys got a little jealous of me. He said, if we had 5 Riley Waltons, I think we'd go undefeated, because he tried to do everything I tell him to do. But it goes back to when you say his psychology of Coach Ridley. I remember a game we had, and it was like we had 3 seconds left and we were behind. He called timeout, we came up, and he pulled up his britches, you know how you do. And he said, we got plenty of time. And we looked at each other like, we got 3 seconds. But what I learned from that was, if you got time, even in life, if you have time, if God giving you that time to wake up every morning, you got time to fix it.
Amen.
You got time to make it right. And that situation came in our championship, well, not the championship game, the first round against Booker T. Washington. If anybody was there, we was down at halftime by, I think, 12 or 14 points. And we came into the locker room, and everybody that know Coach Ridley, you know how he can motivate you on the sidelines. So we just knew we was getting ready to get a chewing out. But he stood in the locker room and said, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. He said, what's wrong with you guys? Did y'all leave the talent in Nashville? And him and Coach Travis walked out of the locker room. And we just looked around. I wish David was here. And David said, man, we didn't come all the way up here to get embarrassed, did we? And we were like, no. So we came together and came out and able to come back and win that game by 2 points. But that let me know something too. Never give up. I mean, never give up in life. When things are rough, things are tight, just never give up. I learned that from Coach Ridley. I also would like to thank this committee for allowing one of us to come up to speak from the 81. We young bucks of the whole group there, so we actually look up to a lot of you guys. I never really knew about Pearl. I actually should have went to Cone, but when I found out my mother went to Pearl, I transferred over here. So, and it was a good move. My friends in the neighborhood, they still mad at me to this day, Coach Polk. But I love them. I love you, Father. I tell you, but my kids get on me all the time. They say, Dad, you go to basketball games and you talk about Coach Ridley all the time. Just at a game, you know, and I still hear his voice. I still hear his voice. And I'm sorry about you guys, but it's just, that's what he meant to me. You know, that's what he meant to me. And I just, I want to spend too much time here, but I do want to give thanks to the 1966 team to be, you know, one of the first and giving us something. You know, the bar was high. Y'all set the bar high, and giving us something to shoot for, and all the other teams that had that also had winning success. And I just want to say on the behalf of the 1981 team, may God bless you all.
All right.
At this time, we will have the former assistant coach to Coach Riley, Doc Shelton, come up and give us a few words.
I want to say we give honor to God and to Dr. McShepard, to Dr. Candace Story Lee, to Linda Wynn Jacob, to Constance, to all of the Pearl alumni, and most certainly to Miss Carolyn Ridley, Coach Ridley's wife, and to Ashley, as well as to Constance, Coach Ridley's beloved daughter. And so I want to say that we praise God for this day, and to all of you distinguished guests. Most certainly, I want to have respect for those who put this program on and those who had the foresight and insight in which to do so. And we thank God for you. I want to say that I want to thank you, Constance, for sharing your father with all of us through the books and writings and YouTube and ESPN and everything else that you have done to help to keep Coach Ridley's legacy alive. Coach Ridley was my idol. He was my mentor. He was my friend. But most of all, he was like a father to me. He was like a father that I never had because I grew up without a father. But he spoke to me. And one of the greatest highlights in my life was when Coach Ridley was in my wedding. I asked him to be my best man. And he said, I ain't going to be your best man, but I'll be a usher. So I was just glad to take whatever I could get from Coach Ridley. He was a drum major for justice everywhere and for equality and equity for everyone and for everybody. He was definitely, in my opinion, the greatest coach ever who ever lived. He was a legend in his own rights, and I'm grateful for his legacy. Because Constance, if it were not for Coach Cornelius Theodore Ridley, a.k.a. Neil, there would be no Doc Shelton. There would be no MLK Boys State Championships. There would be no Coach of the Year awards. There would be no Hall of Fame. There would be no name on the gym floor, because I was nobody until he found me, until he mentored me, until he trained me, until he taught me lessons that I never learned before. So Constance, I will say that he was very, very, very proud of you. And when I first heard of you, I thought you was his wife, the way he talked about you so much. He loved Ashley, and he loved...
A lot of things that Doc said, he's kind of taken. I've seen my notes this morning. Coach Ridley was a father figure to many of us because a lot of us, like Doc said, we didn't have a male figure in our homes.
That's right. That's right, Jeff.
He was a very visionary person. And it's one thing about him. He was a student of basketball.
Yes, he was.
A scholar
Yes, he
of
was.
basketball. His passion for the game left an unforgettable legacy in the sport of basketball, and his numerous scholarships, championships solidified his place among the greatest coaches. Beyond the court, he was a dedicated father, husband, loyal friend, and a pillar of the community. His influence reached far beyond basketball,
That's right.
possibly impacting the lives of countless black youths.
That's right.
During his time in Nashville. Coach Ridley was inducted into both the Tennessee State Hall of Fame, the Metro Nashville Public School Sports Hall of Fame, and numerous other Hall of Fames.
That's right. That's right.
His dynamic personality and record-breaking achievements on the basketball court ensured his lasting impact. He had a deep love for the Tigers,
That's right.
their fans, and the North Nashville community. He will forever be remembered as one of the greatest basketball coaches in Pearl High School history. We are deeply grateful to Coach Ridley for his outstanding contributions. Thank you. My good friend, Candace, I don't know what we could say to you today, and every time we talk, you always do something, bring something out of the bag and make it more enjoyable and more pleasant than ever. But on behalf of the Pearl High School Alumni Association and the community, I would like to extend our gratitude for Vanderbilt Athletics and Dr. Candace Lee for their generous donation to fund this historical marker for Coach Cornelius Ridley. This marker will stand as a lasting tribute to Coach Ridley's immense contributions to the sport of basketball and the impact he had on countless lives in the North Nashville community.
That's right, Jeff.
Your support in honoring his legacy through the gifts is deeply appreciated, and it will ensure that future generations remember his dedication both on and off the court. Thank you once again for your commitment to preserving the history and impact of Coach Ridley. Your generosity means so much to all of us who were fortunate to witness his remarkable career. Thank you, Candace. There's a couple things I like to say to recognize a couple groups before I take my seat. One group is all of the former basketball players under Coach Ridley. Just kind of wave your hand. And I like to recognize another group too. I like to recognize all of the Pearl High School Alumni Association members, will you wave your hands? All right. Constance, I like to say to you, and Doc has said it too, thank you and Keith. And I was telling Constance earlier, I remember Keith coming to basketball practice, and he wasn't no more about 4 or 5 years old, running up and down the court and everything. But we thank you and your family for sharing your father with us. And I can say something else too, because being a coach and an educator, it takes you away from your family. And I know there were a lot of times you, as a child, wanted your father to be with you, but he had other things going on in his life. But you had your mother there to take care of you also. But it's no way in the world that we can tell you how much we appreciate your family for letting us have your father. Thank you. Let me get my notes here. I would be remiss, as I close, I would be remiss not to acknowledge and simplify the contributions of Mr. Melvin Black. Replacing him as chairman of the Pearl High School Alumni Association was no small task. And in fact, it was one of the most challenging tasks I faced this past year. Mr. Black is an exceptional, capable individual. I've always known I could count on him to deliver professional results, regardless of the task. And I never had to question the quality of his decisions. Once again, Mr. Black, thank you for your time, your dedication to the Pearl High School Alumni Association. Thank you so much.
For the time that we all have been waiting for, and that is the unveiling of the Coach Ridley historical marker. We will ask all of the speakers to come and stand to one side, and Dr. Owens, if you will come, and you will be the one that will unveil the marker. We'll do that at this time. Also, all council members, please come.
Tom. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Photographer's ready? Okay, count of 3, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Back. There you go.
Let me read the text to you. Coach Cornelius Ridley, 1932 to 2003. Cornelia Ridley's teams won 684 games, 15 district, 8 regional, and 5 state championships at 3 national schools from 1960 to 1991. A Pearl graduate, succeeded his legendary basketball coach, William Gupton, in 1960. He coached the Tigers in Nashville's first integrated game in 1965 and led Pearl to an undefeated season and state championship in 1966, the first year the tournament was desegregated. An educational mentor, he was inducted into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame in 2007.
On the other side.
Yeah, let's flip the other way.
She turned the other way.